What's going on YouTube? Welcome to my review of my current 3-gun competition optic, the Sightron S-Tac 1-7 times magnification scope. Sightron is esteemed in the precision bench rest and hunting community for their premium performance long range optics, but aren't as well known for their products designed for tactical shooting applications. I've been shooting with the scope in an American Defense mount on my IWI Tavor for several thousand rounds from 0 to 500 yards, and I'm pleased to say that the Sightron S-Tac delivers top-tier performance while remaining an outstanding value for its price point. The scope comes with lens cap covers, a scope cover, and manuals. Oh, and a cloth to wipe off your lenses, and this is the manual on how to use the reticle. And don't worry, we will be taking a look through the reticle outside. So during dusk hours, we're going to be looking at about 100 yards over at an archery target. This is the no magnification view. And we dial it up to 7. This is what you'll see. One of the most distinct features is the variable magnification range of 1 to 7 times zoom, which is infrequently seen. The most common low power variable zoom scopes are 1 to 4 times magnification, with a diverse price range of optics available at 1 to 5 times zoom and 1 to 6 times zoom. Just a few years ago, 1 through 8 times magnification scopes were only available at multi-$1,000 price ranges, but they are increasingly common as well, with primary arms and Vortex having affordable offerings. The scope's field of view is excellent, measuring 91.5 feet at 100 yards and 1 times magnification, and 13 feet at 7 times magnification. The Millhash reticle uses milliradian subtensions to range targets and determine holdovers. The center dot measures 0.5 mils at 100 yards, which covers a circle with a diameter of about 1.7 inches. This dot size is a reasonable balance between speed and precision. Details about the reticle are available on the product webpage, and the scope has an option for an MOA reticle if you prefer subtensions and adjustments in MOA over milliradians. The reticle is second focal plane, which means that the reticle is a fixed size relative to zoom. If you zeroed your rifle at 7 times magnification, this means that without doing quick math in ratios with 7, the reticle subtensions are only valid at 7 times magnification. In contrast, a front focal plane reticle would adjust in size relative to your zoom level, and the subtensions are valid at any magnification level. These optics, though, are more complex internally, so they are often heavier and are priced accordingly. Sightron doesn't have a low power variable magnification optic with a front focal plane reticle, but there are other companies that do. The reticle is illuminated, but only in the center dot. There are 11 brightness settings, but the first half are pointless, as you'll need near pitch black to see the illumination, and if it's that dark, then you won't be able to properly see the target. The brightest setting washes out and isn't visible during the brightest part of the day, but in those lighting conditions, the reticle already has enough contrast against the target. Against the rest of the foliage, you can see that the red dot, the illuminated reticle, does appear, but again, this is during dusk hours. Normally, you're not going to get this bright of a dot from the illuminated reticle. The illumination runs off a single CR2032 battery. The battery cover is difficult to remove without tools, as it's difficult to grip the ridges of the cap with your fingers while also holding the knob of the illumination still. I do like that in between brightness settings there's an off stop. The eye relief, which is how far your eye can be to resolve the correct sight picture, ranges from an impressive 4.8 inches at 1 times zoom and 3.9 inches at maximum zoom. The scope has fixed parallax at 100 yards. At longer ranges, this isn't a problem as you'll need consistent eye placement to resolve the reticle with such a small exit pupil and eye box at 7 times magnification.
See, the eye box is a lot less forgiving, the 7 times magnification.
Using the fast focal eyepiece, there is a wide range of diopter adjustment to account for different visual acuity and natural eyesight. The most impressive feature of this scope is the quality of its glass. The lenses have a full multi-coat layer with Sightron's Zact 7 Rev Coat. The coating maintains the clarity of the precision ground glass, minimizes glare, enhances contrast, and optimizes light transmission. Another reviewer, through independent testing using a collimator, found Sightron glass to have clarity on par with the Swarovski Z6i, a scope easily twice as expensive. Collimator helps quantify relevant glass characteristics so you have the peace of mind that the Sightron S-Tac has premium glass. The 1 times magnification is the closest to a true 1 times magnification I've ever used. Many manufacturers advertise their scopes as 1 times magnification at the lowest power, but can produce a minimum of 1.1 times or 1.2 times, like on this Hilux CMR4 1 through 4 times zoom optic. When you can only go as 1.1 times or 1.2 times zoom level, it is noticeable and can be disorienting to aim quickly with both eyes open shooting at less than 25 yards. At greater than 10 feet, the view through the optic seamlessly blends with a backdrop for true 1 times magnification.
And as you can see as I pan the camera, because of minimal edge distortion, it's a very true 1 times magnification.
The optic is best used on a semi-automatic precision rifle that serves in the designated marksman role. My IWI-4 has an 18.5-inch barrel, and long-range hits using 55 grain ammunition are no problem. I frequently use 77 grain and 85 grain OTM rounds for competition shooting at long range though. The 1 to 7 times magnification range gives you fast target acquisition shooting at 1 times magnification and long range precision at 7 times magnification. The long eye relief, true 1 times magnification, and generous eye box allow for target acquisition almost as quickly as if you were using a red dot, and the 7 times magnification allows you to get shots on target at 800 yards if your rifle is accurate enough to hit at that range. For law enforcement or military applications, this flexibility allows you a patrol weapon that can go from room clearing to counter sniping with just a turn of a dial. For the rest of us, the scope is useful for 3-gun competition shooting, as many courses have targets from 0 to 500 yards. Whether you need all the power of 7 times magnification is only a decision you can make. The type of target you are shooting at and your biological eyesight acuity are factors that weigh into your decision. Why would you want a 1 through 7 times scope over a 1 through 4 times, 1 through 6 times, or 1 through 8 times? For the targets that I shoot at with my rifles, there isn't much practical difference between 1 through 6 times, 1 through 7, and 1 through 8 times magnification. I do appreciate the extra magnification over the limits of a 1 through 4 times scope though, when shooting at small popper targets at longer ranges. If you shoot primarily at silhouette or torso targets, a 1 through 4 times optic is fine out to 500 yards. If you have a rifle with more reach, like an 18-inch barrel 5.56 SPR or a 7.62 NATO rifle, then the extra magnification can help with hits out to the longer effective ranges. Magnification range shouldn't be the only factor in your scope choice. All the additional features mentioned above should also weigh into your decision. In addition to any I have mentioned above, there are only a handful of criticisms I have about the scope's features and qualities. In artificial lighting, the glass has a very light red tint, even with the illumination turned off. I imagine this as an artifact of the illuminator. The front objective is deeply recessed relative to the front of the tube. I imagine this serves the role of having an integrated sunshade, but the scope could be shorter by 3/4 of an inch if the front tube was shortened. I wish that Sightron had included higher quality lens cap covers with the scope. And finally, the sight picture loses some of its brightness in low light shooting conditions. The drop off in brightness is not nearly as severe as in the primary arms 1/6 optic I've used previously, but it is there. Fortunately, the illumination is visible in these conditions. This is one of the drawbacks of having such a small front objective and a high zoom. Is purchasing the Sightron going to be worth the extra money over a Vortex or a primary arms budget 1/6 magnification optic? You have to assess your goals as a shooter and whether you care about the additional features. The glass quality on most budget optics is often compromised to offset the complexity in manufacturing a 1/6 optic and still present an affordable price for consumers. The durability, features, and glass clarity on budget optics is enough for the needs of most shooters. You can't go wrong with purchasing a primary arms 1/6 or a Vortex Strike Eagle. I wouldn't say that those optics are duty ready like for a law enforcement patrol rifle, but they will serve you well within the accuracy and range limitations of your semi-automatic precision rifle. Still, much like the resolution difference between Blu-ray and DVD, the clearer glass of the Sightron scope over budget optics allows for a better shooting experience. I can't tell whether you will care about glass quality or not, but the difference in clarity between a budget optic and a premier grade optic is immediately noticeable. There are diminishing returns as optics get pricier. A $300 scope and a $1,000 scope will have a large performance margin, but $1,000 and $2,000 glass will have subtle differences. Will having clearer glass make you a more accurate shooter? Not as much as additional time on the range will improve your shot groupings. But when you have shot enough to grow out of the performance limitations of budget optics, then having premier optics can elevate you to the next performance tier.
Don't be discouraged because the Sightron brand isn't ubiquitous in the United States by any means. Their optics are popular among European competitors and have been part of countless trophy-winning rifle platforms. The optic is made in the Philippines, but is produced using high manufacturing standards and quality control. Sightron offers a lifetime warranty on their scopes. The scope has an MSRP over $1,000, but can be found on Amazon for much less. The value is amazing, as you're getting comparable performance to much pricier scopes. In summary, the best features of the Sightron S-Tac are its glass clarity, the 1/7 magnification, true 1x magnification view, construction quality, and value for its price. The features on my priority list for improvements are having a shorter front tube, a brighter image in low sunlight settings, and brighter illumination or illumination that extends the entire reticle. I recommend this optic for shooting enthusiasts looking for an optic that's practical for both close and long ranges, need more magnification than the more common 1/4 powered optics, and want a better shooting experience than budget tier low power variable zoom scopes have to offer. Thank you very much for watching my review of the Sightron S-Tac 1/7 magnification scope. Be sure to leave a like rating if I was informative and subscribe to my channel for more firearms related content. My name is David and I will see you next video.